So this was from last time. No, we are still stuck in the topic of gaining space in the endgame. And what did this have to do with space, you might ask yourself? Yeah, we were saying that king d4 was the most evident move in this position, but in that case, black was able to make a draw, but they did not make it a draw in the game. Okay, new user. Make space, make the pawn race favorable for us, says happy pawn. Exactly, gaining space, says Sartak. Yeah, exactly. Igor Rausis, yeah, he was playing with the black pieces. Jan Elvest, American Grandmaster, originally from Estonia, with the white pieces. That's what we had last time. So we talked about this, and I think maybe we should just look very briefly at what was the correct approach here. If you give me just one moment, I will bring it up again. Let's see here. We go back in time. We go back to Thursday, 25th of April, and we will do the quiz here very quickly. All right. Let's see who remembers this astonishing solution with the white pieces here. We have to gain space on the queen side, and then we should try to queen or e-pawn. But we need to use a little trick on the way. So I'm sorry if this is a long variation, but I guess that's the way in which we can really make sure that we understand what's going on here. So yeah, sorry about the long variation, but it's good to repeat in the spirit of learning with Chessable. We will repeat the variation here. Okay, you get 1 minute. Yeah, today you get more time because it's such a long variation. It's like 17 moves or something. So take your time. If you were not here, then yeah, bad luck. You will learn something. Okay, sorry, I'm not keeping track of the chat. Let's see if somebody's saying something important. This is review. Yeah, John, this is review from last time. Those of you who did not attend last time, you will have a, what can I say, enormous task here to try to win this game. Aha, you're right, Leo Coco and Brian, we have 2 winners already. All of those who said king d4 on move 1, either you were looking at something else last week or you were not here last week. GM, you also found it. Congratulations. Happy pawn. Very good job. Some people wanted to take. Yeah, I'm sorry. Those of you who took on d5, I'm very sorry. That's a pitfall that it's easy to fall into that pitfall, but it was not the right choice. Sorry about that. Sarthak, you were very close, Sarthak. I would play king. Well, I don't have any other moves, right? I have to play king a3, though. We can check that, Sarthak. Maybe it works also. What about king c4? Yeah, don't worry, Sarthak. We will check your moves. Only 4 winners here. Yukoko, Brian, GM, and Happy Pawn. All right, Yukoko, you were fastest, so you get the right to show us here. We have to gain space. We have to make sure we land the pawn on a5, right? You found all the 17 moves, Happy Pawn, exactly. We're waiting, Yukoko. You fell asleep. You gave it to RKDK. Oh, sorry about that. Something happened here. Let me blame Chessable Classroom for this. No, I'm just joking. Let's see. Probably my human mistake. Now it should be okay, right? So we need to put the pawn on a5 to gain space. Aha. If you play king d4, black will do the same thing. Long story short, black will play a5 and they can make a draw later. We saw that last time. So, okay, sorry, I interrupted you. Please go ahead, Leo Coco. Now we will do it. Aha. a4, black plays b6, trying to play a5. We don't give them a chance to do that. This looks wrong because now black gets access to the c5 square, but everything has been carefully calculated here by Liu Coco. White sets up the passed pawn. I run to take the pawn. I don't have so much else I can do here. You can see that if I play in a more passive way, if I go back with the king, for instance, yeah, we could just enter and we get to some kind of Zugzwang situation here, I think. Was it like that? I think so, no? This was winning. I think also we can go for that pawn maybe, and we can try to queen the h pawn, which would be useful in this sense. So anyway, yeah, back to Liu Coco. I went to take the pawn instead. Please go ahead, Liu Coco. And now we arrive at the moment where some of you went wrong. Some of us wanted to take the pawn. This is the key move we have to play. If you take the pawn, anyone, could you write to me in the chat? What was the problem with that? Exactly, king b6. Those of you who said that, exactly, king b6, and we can bring in the king. And it's almost like some kind of outside passed pawn scenario, right? White's a little in danger here also now. So we should not do that. We should play, please go ahead. King can go back in defense as happy pawn, exactly. Okay, go for it, Where is Liu Koko? Yeah, king c5 obstruction or whatever you would call it. I have to play king a4, and now it's different because the king cannot come home anymore. And I think I played a5 here, and with a non-capture, yeah. Okay, Sarthak, yeah, don't worry. King c4 says Sarthak. By the way, I could maybe start with king b3 also, right? If I want to rule out that Sarthak, but never mind. Yeah, if you play king c4, I guess I have to play like that. You would play e4. I would probably take. I would play a4. I think it works, right? Your variation works, Sarthak. Yeah, it works. You can do it like that also, and you pick up the queen in the very end. Yeah, you're right. Good point, Sarthak. You could play like that. So maybe I should have inputted instead the move king. I should have inputted king b3 instead, right? Then I would force you to find the right half. Yeah, half point for you. Full point. Yeah, full point, Sarthak. Yeah, I don't want to fight with anyone. So yeah. Great. Okay, and the rest is easy, right? Are you still there, Liu Koko? Yeah, exactly. Let's go for it. Aha. Yeah, my technical mistake. I should have chosen the more critical line, but we understand this now. Somehow this a5 move, it delayed black a little in their play. We gained some important space, and now after the mutual queen promotion, we are ready to trade off the queens in some way. We use our queen in a very clever way. We make sure to check on c4 so that all the moves here, well, there are not so many, run into some kind of skewer. And after that, white prevails on the king side. Nice. Okay, I think we should certainly continue now. Let's take our next example. On the topic of space, of course, we are talking about... I have a trivia which I think everybody can answer. Who will play the next World Championship match? Aha, Gukesh versus Ding, or Ding versus Gukesh, you're right. And here they are. Well, this is not from the future. No, this is not something that I'm making up. No, this was played in the past, of course, a few years ago. They were playing an online game. You can see it's a very entertaining night end game. White looks... okay, I have to take away the pawn from Liu Koko before they play some move here. White has an extra pawn and their king is more active, so they should have good winning chances, right? Yeah, I was talking about the Open World Championship. I know that there is a women's championship match also, of course. I think it's Ju Wenjun, great player with white pieces, or on one of the sides. And on the other side, it's either... anyone help me out? It's... who is she playing? Lei Tingje? No. Tan Zhongji. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a Chinese duel there. Yeah, Ju Wenjun is playing really well lately, so I think she will be the favorite. But anyway, let's take Ding versus Gukesh instead. So Gukesh is in trouble. He played here 93, trying to build up counterplay before it's too late. White should be winning, but how? Well, that's your mission, guys. And I can tell you that in the game, actually, Ding, I think he was afflicted by time travel. He was not able to win this game, but you will, because you're very good with gaining space and all those things. So you get 1 minute 10 for this mission. Knight takes h6 as Can King Sam. All right, if that's what you think, go ahead, be my guest. We have a few answers already. So also, how you find? I think she's not in the World Championship anymore, right? She doesn't like to play those tournaments anymore, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, I'm not really well acquainted with the topic. Nice, we have 2 winners already, GM and Santos. Congratulations, great work. Brian is our 3rd winner. Yeah, Brian, you have now managed both quizzes so far perfectly. Yeah, that's really great. Gordon, you also found it. Something about move orders, right? Something about move order. Don't forget that those 2 knights right now, White's knight is like dominating Black's knight. So if you move the knight with White, you actually let Black play knight e5 at some point. That might be important to some extent. John Sam, that's another winner. And what else do we have here? Okay, some of you played like Gukesh, like Ding in the game. I see. King g6. Oh, could you play that also? Yeah, consider yourself a winner, JV Namra, Queen Alapin, Slayer, little chess player. You're all winners. Yeah, no hard feelings if you didn't take the pawn. That's perfectly fine. I solved this correctly. My last one was King g6. Of course, you're winning too. Bravo, Queen Alapin, Slayer. Sorry about that. I had to scroll down to see your answer. For some reason, I don't know how it's ordered here on my screen. Knight h8. Some people say, "Wow, that's really you win like a brilliancy prize for this move, Knight h8." But it's probably not intended for this exercise, right? So let's bring up. Let's see who is here. GM, did GM do this last time? No, I don't think so. So GM, you're number one here. You're fastest. How do you continue? We're talking gaining space. What was your first move here? h5. So this is a very clever move. White is getting ready to take the pawn and push g5. That's the fastest way of setting up a passed pawn on the king side. If you played knight h6 instantly, the problem is that I can come back with a knight. I won't take the pawn anymore. And this is exactly what happened in the game. They played g5 here, and now black came back. They first played king d6. I think they could maybe have played knight e6 also, but this is smarter, I think, because now if g6, you can go king e7, right? So, yeah, that's probably the best way to play. King f6, knight e5, and the game was later drawn here. g6, knight e7, and king f7, knight e5. White could not progress in this position. So, yeah, I messed up the move order, says Marcus. Yeah, that's what also Ding did, unfortunately, in the game. And if by chance you thought about playing h5 here, then that's actually very reasonable. However, I can do what we're talking about here. I don't take the pawn anymore. I know this is dangerous. We will see this in the main line. I will just bring back the knight instead. So I'm being anti-materialistic here. I'm bringing home the knight so that I can defend better against the passed pawn. And again, I can take and I can bring back the king. And black should be on the safe side here in this endgame because the king is in time to stop the pawn. So, yeah. Let's go back to GM. So what did you say here, GM? You said h5, right? So now I cannot play knight e5. I hope everybody understands the picture here that one knight is dominating the other. No, this happens sometimes in the knight endgames when they are on the same color. They can dominate each other in this way. So black's only sensible move here would be knight takes f2. And now we are ready. This is important. We have to play like that because if you play g5 again, instead I will take, and now it's more difficult. You will have to use the king to go and take this pawn. But I guess that also gives me a chance to like go for counterplay myself or something. Is it Zugzwang? I don't think there is any Zugzwang in this. I see what you mean. No, it's not really Zugzwang, Santos. I understand what you're saying. Like I have to move the knight. No, I think white will be winning anyway. If it's white to move again here, they would maybe win with king g6 now, or no? Wow, that would be amazing if it's a Zugzwang. I didn't think of that. Maybe you're right, whoever said that, Santos. You're probably right there. Yeah, it's probably a Zugzwang then. I had not thought about it in that way. But it's highly possible. I would just say it's a useful move, no? As always, we gain space and we bring our pawn a little closer to the queen square. Anyway, please go ahead. Let's continue with GM. Black has to take, I guess. And finally, we are ready to run with the h-pawn, the worst enemy for the knight. Pawn takes, and yeah, black can resign. The pawn is not queening, and this is how it could end. And some people wanted to play king g6. If you said that, it's perfectly fine. But GM took on g5 instead, and that is h8 in the very end. I thought the quiz was going to be knight e1 after knight takes h6. Yeah, maybe that was more critical, JV Numbra. I thought it would be knight d1 here. Is that smarter? I didn't even think of that either. You're probably right. That would be more critical, no? What do you think in that case, JV Namra? What would happen now? King f4. But then I will probably take. No, that cannot be right, no? Because, yeah, you have to go that way. If you go king f4, I think I take. And if g5, I can probably come back with the king, right? In the very worst case, I mean. So, seems more logical to play king g6. Yeah, I think I looked at this also. And you take, and again, sorry guys to bother you with this, but again, we have the same situation, no? When one of the knight moves, like when the black knight moves somewhere, like here, we are ready to play knight f5. And we stop this pawn and we are ready to run with the other one. So I think that's how it goes. Yeah, I think that's how it goes. The tricky endgame. Now imagine sitting there with 2 minutes on the clock and calculate all these variations. But some patterns, at least you should keep in mind, like this with the knights on the same color and so on. They can dominate each other. So I think white is winning here, pushing the pawn. If the king gets closer, I think I would just play g5 anyway, and I should be winning, right? Or can you trade off the knights? Anyone who is fast with tactics, king g6 maybe. Is that clever or that's very silly? Um, yeah, anyone, knight x5. Oh, it's winning. I couldn't calculate that fast, but you maybe found a way to to trade the queens here or what? I couldn't see this so clearly. You could. White wins, really? How does white win this? Queen d8 and queen f6 maybe. Is that what you're gonna play? Tactical magicians, yeah, I think you're right. Tactical. This might very well be winning. No, the queen gets here and the pawn. It seems like black's king is not in the right place. But Phoenix said that, right? When you have this kind of queen endgame, put the king far away so that it doesn't disturb the queen, no? Or something like that. Oh, you got this in the game. Interesting, tactical magician. I see. Win says, yeah, queen a1 must be winning for white because I trade off the queens, right? So I guess I have to put my king somewhere else, but maybe something like this and then play g6. Yeah, looks like nightmare for black, right? So anyway, that's the interesting endgame that we had here. Knight e3 was played by Gukesh and Ding hurried to sack on h6, but unfortunately he overlooked that. Black would not take the pawn. Black went home with the king instead, and they were able to make a draw. However, the right move, as we were talking about here, after the move knight e3, if we do this just very quickly to make sure that everybody's on the same page here. I will just quiz you for the first move, all right? Let's see. Okay. Okay, so a lot of people got it right. Yeah, like 25 people. Yong Jial is one of the winners here. Please go ahead, Yong, and tell us how did you do this very quickly? We first gain space, and when they take, only then we carry out our favorite sacrifice here. Knight takes, and we win the game here thanks to our h pawn. Yeah, I don't know why everybody is raising their hand. I don't know. Is there something in particular that you would like to share with everybody? We are all ears. Anything about this endgame or about something else maybe that's... Yeah, else let's just stop spamming hands. Exactly. So, okay, nice. Yet again, the same picture. We push our pawns, and in some way it's favorable for us. All right, let me see. I'll pick up another example here. This is another pawn endgame. It was played a few years ago in the capital of Latvia. Yeah, Latvia, right? What's the name of the exactly tactical position? Capital of Latvia is Riga, exactly, Tori Chess. You know your geography. So this game was played in the city of Riga a few years ago. Boruchovsky with white and Fyodorov with the black pieces. I would like to know how you think that white should continue here. Materially is equal, however, black's king is far away. Is there a way in which we can win this game? That's what I would like to find out here. Let's see if I can get this right. Wait for me a little. By now, you can already start thinking about your right strategy. Of course, it has something to do with space. So let's see here. The Tiger of Madras. Magician of Riga. That's Mikhail Tal. Yeah, exactly. He was from Riga, exactly. Shiro also, maybe? Anyway, I'm not a complete expert on chess history. But this endgame I know quite well. So here we go. You're playing with the white pieces. I think there is only one way to win here. There is a contradiction here because between the ideas of gaining space and king first. Yeah, that's very logical, the move that everybody's saying here. But I don't think it works. But okay, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I messed it up. Please beware that this is not a typical endgame, no, because black has a passed pawn on the d file already. So, okay. h4. Some people want to gain space with h4. Interesting. I didn't think of that. Maybe you could do that also. Okay, let's see who is closest here. I have to be careful with the move order. Maybe Queen Lapin Slayer has some other move order that I need to take care of. Interesting. I think El and Tori and Zachpan and so on, you have found a very smart way of playing, right? Or did you mess up the tempi? I think you messed up the tempi, unfortunately. The group of students, Pika, El, Tori, Zach, Pan, Brian, John, Sam, Rohan, Santos. I mean, with 1 minute, what you did is still very, very meritory, what you did here. But there is something even better. I see, I'm checking here, Queen Alpine Slayer's move order. Yeah, I don't think that works because I bring in the king, right? Interesting. We will talk about that. Remind me, Queen Alpine Slayer. Who got closest, by the way? Darial was very close. I think Darial is our winner here. Okay, Darial, share with us, please. Share with us. First move here. This is a really nice pattern in many endgames. We play g4. Why do we start with this pawn? Well, one of the points is that we fix the pawns, right? A move like g4 fixes the black apart from gaining space. Apart from gaining space, fixes the opponent's pawns. Fixes the opponent's pawns. I mean, that can be done for a variety of reasons. No, we can do it, for instance, to fix them as weaknesses, but we can also do it to get rid of their waiting moves and so on. And we can also prevent them from gaining space, right? If you play, but just as an example, now, if you play h4. Yeah, I understand. I should not play h5 because you will play g4 and you have a pawn break. But maybe later, if I bring in my king first, maybe later I can play h5 at some point when my king is inside the square, right? I could do that. But if you play a move like g4, then I can never really gain space with these two pawns, if you see what I mean. So we gain space and we don't let them gain space. Anyway, yeah, back to Darial. All right, I'll bring in the king then, Darial. Now that we prevented black from gaining space, we are bringing in the king. Had you played king e2 in the first place here, I would have played f5. Now I gain space. Now black gains space. Oh, we're doing Spanish lessons here also. Interesting, Ashwin. So f5, that's what black could play here. Black's point is, of course, that since this is not a normal pawn endgame, you cannot do this just like that because, yeah, you see what I mean, right? I'm also having my passed pawn. This would be bad plan with white because black's pawn is running. So if you play like that, you allow f5, which means that black stops white from gaining space. I don't know if someone can explain this in the better way in English, please go ahead. But what I'm saying is basically that we push our pawns and to gain space, and also to avoid our opponent from gaining space. There is some kind of connection, no? From gaining space. Just like you would say in a queen endgame, for instance. If you put your queen in the center, your opponent cannot put the queen in the center. There is only place for one queen usually in the center. Right? So some plans are like, either we do it or they do it or something like that. Anyway, yeah, back to GM. Please, GM, please go ahead. I'm interrupting you here. G4 is what you said, right? Or should we continue with the other variation? Yeah, king e2. We can check this, of course, if somebody would still like to convince themselves of this. That we bring up the king, maybe something like that. You can centralize the king. And this would work in some other situation, like in the game that we looked at, right, with Rouses, the Elvest Rouses game. It would work. But here, where would the black king go? Anyone? King c6, exactly. This is not a normal endgame, no, not a normal pawn endgame, because we have a passed pawn. So we can safely give up this f5 pawn in order to run with our own pawn, right? And we will have a race here again, as you can see. I guess we played e4 and yeah, I think white should be careful, right? There seemed to be some kind of skewer in the end, right? Black promotes first, and I think actually black is skewering white in the very end, if I'm not. I think white's in a losing race, exactly, Tori. Oh, king e4 is very silly. Yeah, my bad. But then how do you stop the pawn, Yukoko? Then you can't stop the pawn, I think. King g4. Oh, you can't stop the pawn like that. You're being very clever here. I see. So I would have to, but I queen with check now, or what? I'm very slow. Sorry, guys. Can I play like that and pretend I'm queening with check, or no? I have to play like that first, right? So that I don't let you come this way. Yeah, it feels to me that I'm in the driver's seat here, right? Yeah, there is a lot of chat messages, so I can't really follow. Don't play King F3, as I think Queen Alapin Slayer said. So what do we play? Queen Alapin F5, or what? What are we talking about here? It's hard to say with so many messages. No, here King F3. Could we maybe agree that this is not good for white? No problem, no problem. Yeah, no king takes f5 and so on. Yeah, g4 you want to play. Oh, I see, I see. You want to play g4 with white. Yeah, yeah, makes perfect sense. Then I think we just end up in the drawn endgame, right? Oh, no, wait. I made a silly mistake here. You're queening with check, right? Wow, you're being really clever. So I think I have to push my d pawn, right? And you will take, and now you have like a shelter for your king, right? I understand. Very smart thinking. Yeah, very smart thinking. So I guess I will have to do this, and I'll take the pawn. No, I can't take the pawn. You're queening with check. Interesting. White wins, says Santos. Yeah, I wouldn't be that definite, but it certainly looks promising. So I think the human factor here. No, I think I messed it up here. King e5, but king c5 looks like it's the right move, right? Or no? Anyone who is very clever, can you tell me how can black? Can I go back with the king maybe? Like in the other endgame, right? This looks like it looks horrible. I agree, it looks horrible, but it has a merit, right? If I can bring in the king, I should be okay. So your only chance would be to play king e6, but now you don't queen with check. Does that make sense or no? And I don't think you have any skewers here in the end. I think this is a draw. That's what I'm hoping. No, of course this will be a draw. I'm also protecting the pawn. Queen a8. Queen a8? Yeah, but you're fishing now, right? You're fishing for some, I will put my king on the d file or something. That will never happen. Yeah, razor bill. Fishing for gold. So I think something like that. Yeah, something like that. Please notice the similarity, right? We have some kind of flexibility of plans. Of course, we would love to push our pawn, but since they are queening with check, we can try to bring the king back. And something similar happened in the Elvest endgame. So maybe we should go back to the very beginning. Now we're talking about the fact that white would just love to bring in the king in standard fashion, but in that case, black can play this clever move f5, which means that white will have more difficulties gaining space on the king side. Why is that so important? Well, that's what Darial will finally show us. So sorry about that, Darial. Please continue. Yeah, we have you on hold for a long time, but now we're ready to see your solution. So g4, fixing pawns, getting ready to gain more space. That's what the Israeli grandmaster played also in the game. This is how the game continued. Let's continue. Sorry, am I missing something, little chess player? You're spamming. F6 instead of king e6. I can't look at chat the whole time. F6 instead of king e6. All right, I'm coming back. Don't worry. We will do this very slowly. F6. I go king d7. Why would I not make a draw here? I don't understand. Those of you who were screaming, why would I not make a draw in this case? I'm sorry, guys, but this is beyond my understanding. I'll just trade off the pawn and it's a dead draw. So why scream about this? I don't understand. But okay, it was important to highlight maybe. So, yeah. Could we continue now maybe? If we can agree that black is probably saving their skin here. Okay, nice. So we will continue. I'm very sorry, Darial. This is like the movie Groundhog Day. What's the name of the movie? Have you seen that movie? The same day repeats day after day after day. Famous movie. All right. Never mind. Groundhog Day with, what's the name of this actor? Yeah, I don't really remember. Anyway, please go ahead, Ariel. You can Google it, and it's a great movie in any case. So G4, that's what we played here. So this is the last time you will have to play G4, Ariel. Don't worry. D4, King D3, King D5. I have to check the name of the actor. Yeah, I don't really remember. One of my favorite actors. In any case, so we are gaining space. Black is suddenly like running out of moves. No. I'll play something like King C6, King C5. You can see that also if I play something like this, there are some dangers on the sky, right? How would you continue here? Groundhog Day, exactly, RKDK. What's the name of the actor? Check that, please, and let everybody know. Of course, H4. You see, this is dangerous for black now. The king has to stay on this side, and maybe we are ready for one of those. Bill Murray, exactly. Thanks, Happy Pound. That's one of my favorite actors, a great American actor. All right. Now we can do the pawn break, right? Liu Koko, you're right. We can copy Liu Koko's move here. We can start with h5, just like in the Gukesh example, and we're just right on time, right? Or am I missing something? Now we can play g5, says Razorbill. I think so, yeah. We're having a promising pawn break here. I have to take once, I guess, and I cannot take twice because then you're queening before me, I think, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. This is completely winning for white. We're not inside the square. So we will have to go back with the king. But I'm afraid this is a lost endgame, right? This is not one of those, or is this a draw? Yeah, I don't really remember. Maybe it's a draw, right? How was this? I think there is a stalemate motif here, right? This is not. Yeah, it's not winning. Yeah, we should not play like that. It's good to know, right? If you move everything we talked about horizontal space some weeks ago. If you move everything in this way, it's easy to win it. Should we talk about that? Maybe. Okay, maybe we should. Maybe we should. All right, we will do that. What I'm trying to say is that this would be a trivial win for white. Anyone, how would you win this very easily? This is not a draw anymore, right? Yeah, king e4, you can play that. Or even more fancy. I'm waiting for somebody to say the fancy move. But nobody's saying the fancy move. Okay, L. Thanks, L. Great to have... Oh, I made it black to move. Yeah, never mind. We can lose a tempo like that. So what did I do here, by the way? I was trying to lose a tempo, but I didn't make it. Now we can do it. So L is saying that we can just go f7. Exactly. Simplest way to win this endgame. Right? Take the pawn. Make sure that you go to the right side after that, right? If you take the pawn on like this, you should always go to this side, right? To play g6. Yeah, don't go to the other side because then you will have to do it again, right? Everybody knows this trick, I hope. Else, this is good to know. This is a draw because of the stalemate motif. We're talking horizontal space now, right? Horizontal space. Yeah, everybody knew this, of course. Yeah, but just in case we're talking about this. So you go this way. Now there is no issue anymore with that, and white wins. So this is a win. However, I'm afraid that in our other position, it's not a win because we have an h pawn then. So we can't just give up the pawn like that. I certainly hope it's a draw. We will come back let's go back now to this one. I think I know where we messed it up, by the way. Yeah, we will come to that. Okay, so we were talking about g4, king c6, the king came up, we played like that. Anyone? White's next move here? Torice says f4, completely right. We are finishing off their waiting moves now, right? So what did black play? King c5, h4, and they played in the game. Oh, they played. No, that's sorry. I'm going a little too fast. Here it's where we talked about h6, right? And we said h4 and king c5. So I think here you have to make it in a different move order. Whoever said this, Liu Koko. I think this was not convincing because, as we are saying, if you play like this, I think it ends in a draw, right? You cannot win this position, if I'm not mistaken. You can simply not. You cannot progress here after king here and king there. Correct me if I'm wrong. If anyone can prove otherwise, I'm happy to find out. But I don't think you win this, right? It's because of the stalemate motif here. Like, yeah, you have the wrong pawn and so on. Okay, so you should play g5 instead. Exactly. The move order matters here. The move order matters. We play g5 and we actually queen here, if I'm not mistaken. We queen now because you take and you queen. So that was important. For that reason, they did not play in the game h6, right? In the game, he played f4. And he played here, Fyodorov played the most resilient move. He played king c5. So here was the key moment. This was the key moment of the game. But white, they did their mathematics here. They calculated correctly. So if you said by chance, go back. Should I go back? Okay, I'm going back. h3 seems extra tempo. Exactly, Rohan. But RKDK wants to say something. Okay, why you're saying g4? G4 is on the board already. You mean something else, or I don't understand. We're talking about this line, and we were saying that black should not play h6. No, this is not the line. Black should not play h6 here because white goes h4, and if king c5, that was g5. Is this what you mean, RKDK? You had something you wanted to communicate here? Waiting. Tell us. F takes c5, all right. You want to, oh, I understand. You want to go for the pawn race, something like that. Aha, I see. Yeah, maybe this works. I didn't think of that. You're probably right. You can make a draw here with d3. That's what RKDK is saying. So it's probably not dead lost. You see how tricky these endgames are. So we must have messed it up then with white. Interesting. So I think I know the answer then, but I will wait for you guys to comment. Aha. We can maybe play that makes a difference, right? I think this is the difference, like Tori Chess is suspecting. I think that's the difference. Aha. We do it like that instead. Very nice. We're learning with Tori and everyone else here. H5. Mutual Zugzwang, right? White to play, maybe it's a draw then. Because d5 we take and we play king e5. But black to play, unfortunately, they have to play king c5. And now we win with g5. Nice. Yeah. Great. Thanks to RKDK for also being stubborn and asking about this. Opposed to the other line, we're one tempo ahead, so they cannot catch us when we're queening. And something like that happened in the game, because in the game, but king e6 after h5. King e6 after h5. Yeah, this must be completely winning, right? Or am I missing something? One extra pawn is usually enough to win in multiple pawn endgames. Let's see, king d6. All right, we have another little task here. No, g5 is the same mistake, right? Don't play g5 because we end up in the same situation. Yeah, please don't play that. We need to be smarter here. Maybe some kind of moving the king this way, perhaps, like that. That should be possible, no? Or no? Or we have to be careful about f5 also. Yeah, we need to be careful about f5. It's not here maybe, but later. No, here probably the king can just come back, right? But they can play a move like that, and then they can maybe play f5. Is that so? I don't think so, no? White should be completely winning here. Correct me if I'm wrong. This must be completely winning now. So I guess that's the right winning plan, to bring in the king like that. They can, of course, not follow us, because then I'm saying of course, but nothing is really of course. But it seems that white wins now, right? Because we will queen, right? So I think that's the right plan for white, to go to the other side with the king. So anyway, that's basically what happened in the game. Yeah, that's what happened in the game. They played f4, and after king c5, he played here the move that Tori was already commenting on. Anyone? What did white play here? Trick example. Yeah, for sure. h3, exactly. So when you play this, you have to make sure, you have to think like in patterns now. We would like to have black's king on c5 when we push h5 at the very end. So that's exactly what happened. He played h4, king c5, h5, and here after king d5, yeah, this would lead back to our variation, right? And in the end, black played king d5, and I think everybody can imagine what white played here, right? Anyone? Of course, our favorite topic, h6. That's the only winning move, I think. We play h6 because we put them in Zugzwang. They have to play king c5, and now we are ready. Aha. Yeah, Liu Koko, you're right. Now we go g5, and we do the same thing again, but this time on the 6th rank. So, wow, tricky example, no? Tricky example, and you see there is a conflict. This would be very natural to play like that first, but then you give black a chance to push the pawn, and suddenly it's harder for us to do something on this side. And if you played by the way, some people were saying here h4, no? Some people were saying h4 also. If you play h4 at once, I think it's different. Yeah, why is that? Something with timing, I think, in this example. Yeah, what would be different? If you play g4 now, for instance, what would be the difference? I think I can bring in the king, right? If you do this now, I can bring in the king, and I gain like more possibilities. I can go like this, or I can go like that. So you do need to have the king higher up with white, but the first priority here is to fix the pawns, right? So yeah, all right. We will do a quick recap here. Quick recap, and then we will continue. Let's see if we can get this right, because it's fairly forced, right? It's a fairly forced variation, so it should be easy for everyone to figure this out. Let's use the other variation. Yeah, we will use the other variation this time. Okay, you get 40 seconds for this. Okay. Okay, great work. Many people got this right. Sheng, Little Chess Player, TT, Tori, Dada, GM, Oski, Marcus, and a lot of other people got it right. Some of you wanted to play H4 on move 5. Remember that supposedly this didn't lead us to the right scenario. Let's check Zach Pan and Tactical Magician. You also got it. Zach Pan, please go ahead. Tell us, how did you continue here? We start with gaining space and preventing black from doing the same thing. Before black's king gets closer, we should bring up our king. Please continue, Zach Pan, if you like. Or are you tired already? No. Okay, great. Okay, waiting. Yeah, right. Now we should not allow, of course, the king to get closer, so we have to play like that. I have to sit and wait. And here some people played h4, but if you play h4, I think we talked about this, right? It ends in a draw after king d5 and h5, h6, the mutual Zugzwang. That's so tricky. So you're right, Zach Pan, we play instead one step only. And after king d5, now it suddenly works, right? Now it works out fine. We get our beloved mutual Zugzwang with black to play, I mean. Exactly, at h5 and d5 coming up next. Right, very nice. Okay, I have one more pawn endgame. Then I promise you that I won't torture you with any more pawn endgames. But I have one more which I think is very nice. Let me just refresh the screen because you're sending all these octopuses and things like that, and it's making the whole connection slower. So I'll be back just in 1 minute, all right? Okay, so we are back now. No more octopuses, please. Let them rest for a while. Stop spamming, please. Exactly. That will make it faster. So here we are. Last pawn endgame for a while. Let's see if we understand this endgame. So this is a tricky endgame, okay? White has an extra pawn, right? White has an extra pawn. But it's doubled, which is not good news for us. But however, in a pawn endgame, an extra pawn is usually more decisive than in other types of endgames, you could say. Types of endgames, to simplify a little. King d6, king d7 in the last position. What happened now, JV Nambra? You know I don't want anyone to have doubts about anything. So let me know what's the problem now. What happened now? In the final position, let's see what you have to say here. In the final, I am in the final position now. King d6 and king d7 here. I don't understand. What do you mean? You want to play king c6 and king e6 and take and are we talking about this? Yeah, me too, Chessart. King d7. It's right to move for starters. I go king c4 here. Yeah. RKDK, you want to play king d7? I don't understand. How could this not be winning for white? You have to play king e7 now, I guess. Okay, let's see. How could we possibly progress here? We are sending the king in this. We're playing this. We're going that way, maybe. You have to go like this. I think I messed it up, right? I thought I could play g5, but I can't, right? Because they're coming back and I'm losing. What a disaster. All right, it was more tricky than we thought. Nice. Let's see. There must be an answer here. Yeah, let's see. Go king b5. Oh, king b5 is what the audience wants. King c6, king e6. What should white play now then? Now we have to be careful about f5 also, right? King c5, f5. I also thought about f5. I also thought this might be... Isn't that winning and we just bring in the king? Or is this too complex? Looks winning now. We bring in the king. And I mean, sorry to bore anyone here, but you can see again, right? Our favorite topic now. Thanks to the space gained by the f-pawn, we win this easily, right? Is there anything else that we need to comment on here? But it was a little tricky. Yeah, I agree. It was a little tricky. King c6 and f5. Yeah, king c6 and f5 seems to be winning. King c6 and... king f5 is a draw, you're saying. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Wow, what a tricky endgame. You're right. So how to fix this then? King e7, f5 now, and king d7. Did this really make? Do we make it here? King c5, king c7. Now I'm just copying moves here. And king b5. You win like that. Wow, that's really interesting. I understand the point, of course. If king b7, we will push g5 and we're queening. So they have to go back with the king. They have to go for our pawn. And now you probably want to play king b6. Is that so? Yeah, we're learning today. We're learning. Everybody's learning. King e5, king c5. Black gets first to eat the pawns, but they are too slow, or what? No, I don't follow here. I have king g5, right? Wow, this was really confusing. Really confusing. It's amazing to think that black could make a draw in this endgame. Yeah, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. But I don't have a good theory about how to win. On the other hand, yeah. Anyone? G5, not here, right? Not here. So we are saying like king c4 and black should play what? King d7. Is that what you were saying? There is no way this is not winning. Yeah, that's what I think also. That's how you played last time. And I could not play king c6 because that was f5. Extremely annoying. What if king c5 instead? Oh, you want to play king c5 one move earlier? Like reversed opposition. Interesting. That's also a good theory, right? There is something you say, you go for the other, like the opposite opposition until when you have a, should I write that? Like go for anti opposition when you have a waiting move in the pocket, right? That's what you would say here. So king c5, king c7, and why am I not winning now? This is really confusing. Why could I not be winning now? This must be completely winning, right? Or is there something wrong about this? What? King c7, f5. f5 cannot be played as long as my king is inside the square, right? King c7, then king e7. Yeah, and I go king d5. Whoever is moving here. I don't follow. This seems to be winning. Somebody said here the move king c5. Yeah. Hats off. Congratulations to the one who saw this move. That was a genius move. Yeah. Whoever said it. I don't follow. What don't you follow, Chesalt? I think we understand this now. We are simply keeping the opposition we are keeping this move in the pocket so that when they think that they took the opposition, we play f5. Yeah, that's not a new idea exactly. This is complex. King c5, king e6, king c5, king e6. Oh, wow. But can't we do the same thing now with king c6 and king f4 and king d6 and king takes? We make it, right? We make it. Yeah. We did it. Congratulations. No, we did not. We bring in the king. No, we did not make it because they have king g4. Wow, how annoying now. How annoying. So you're saying that the game was not, it was drawn the whole time? King d5 wins, says Tactical Magician. All right, Tactical, do me a favor. I'm also tired. So, Tactical, you will be the coach at this point. Show us now, everyone, how does white win here. You can get the... Yeah, I can play black then. I'll play black. What did you say last time here? King here, right? Okay. We have full faith in you, Tactical. But wait. People said that f5 was making a draw, right? Oh, very nice, very nice. You see, students are smarter than coaches. I understand what Tactical has seen here. Extremely clever, no? Extremely clever. And I can't make it to come back in time. But I can come back in time, Tactical. Yeah, you had me there guessing for a while. Aha. Yeah, sorry, Tactical. You were very close. What do you think, guys? Maybe this is not winning then. Maybe it was a draw the whole time. I would say, though, that practically... there were good chances now. Can I play, says Razor? Sure. It's a democracy, right? We're living in a democracy. Please go ahead, Razor. King d5. Yeah, I'll just play like we played last time. I go f5. g5. How can that ever work? Remember, the task is to win, not to lose. Right? You're in danger now, Razor. Yeah, this cannot be right. No, this cannot be right. Anyone else? This is. Can I play? Says Rohan. But Rohan, only if you win with white now. Only if you win with white. I guess you don't want to play from. You want to play from this position? No, I don't think so. You want to play from a little earlier, right? From here. Yeah, this is really mystery endgame. Mystery endgame. So go for it, Rohan. We're waiting. Can I play black? Yeah, playing black is fun. It's not difficult at all. So the next position, yeah, maybe we should continue then. We can come back to this next week. You can have as a task, assignment for next week, analyze this endgame. Was it ever possible to win it? Okay, you're playing like that. What did you play here last time? King e6 was what we said last time, right? King c4. Wow, that's at least it looks smart. I don't know if it is, but it looks very smart. Some kind of obscure Zugzwang here. Yeah, I don't follow, but looks interesting. Whoever found this, yeah, what would be the point now? King here, maybe? I think you're already making me confused. King... What was it? King here, I think we said last time, right? Yeah, at least you managed to trick me. Now that's not a big effort. Turn on the engine. Oh, should I do that? Oh, I can do that. Yeah, wait for me a little then. Let's see. Yeah, I was going to show you the other endgame, but okay. I'd never do that, but if you really need to, yeah, wait for me then. Was it a draw? Where are we? Sorry, guys. Let me come back and understand what's going on here. Why this? Yeah, it was a draw then. I see. It was a draw. Yeah, you're right. So black actually made a draw here. They would have made a draw. Fyodorov did also not understand this. Yeah, I think this was not common. You're right, JV Namra. Yeah, this was actually a draw in the end. It was not possible to win it, but it had good practical chances of winning, right? What a pity. I think next time I will have to show you the same example, but I will do it like this. I will show you my evil plan here. I will do this to you next time. Let's see. If I arrange the position like this, I think white is winning, right? You have to play f4 and you know the rest. But it looks weird, no? It looks weird like that. But it's probably going to win much easier, no? If we don't have the h pawn. So anyway, yeah, congratulations to those of you who understood that this was a draw. That was not evident to me. And white won this game also in practice. So nice. We will continue. Let me see if I can show you one more example. But please notice that in our example, even if it turned out to be a draw in the very end, it was far from evident now. And definitely at the board, white took their best practical chance. They made life very difficult, even for the experienced grandmaster Alexei Fyodorov. So Fyodorov would have made a draw here by playing h6. That's what we have concluded now after lengthy analysis. Incredibly enough, this has been a draw. Yeah, that really beats me. But you have convinced me today that this is a draw because white cannot enter, and there is always this f5 move, which is annoying and so on. So yeah, interesting. Maybe it was a draw all the way, like you have rook and bishop versus rook, but there are practical winning chances, and you have to take them because, after all, chess is a sport, not only science now. So you have to take your chances. And if you check, for instance, my famous compatriot Ulf Andersson, if you check his endgames, very often they were not lost for the opponent, but the opponent will still lose them, if you see the difference. So, okay, we should continue. We will take our last pawn endgame and the last, for sure, last example for today. So this is about pawn endgame. We have an extra pawn, but it's a weird pawn structure, right? You can see that probably white took like this, and then they have taken like that also. So we end up in some kind of weird pawn structure. Not easy at all to win this endgame, but I can give you the hint. The only way, but if I write something here, will somebody be able to read it? The only way to win this endgame is by gaining some extra space in the first place. All right? It might have been a win for white. Maybe, yeah. We will have to come back, little chess player, to the previous endgame, yeah? You have a week to look into it. So this is a very tricky endgame. You can see that black is doing their best to keep white's king at bay. If white white could try to enter in some way. If we have a pawn race, white will be faster. No, they will take the e-pawn. Black has to take many pawns here to create a passed pawn. However, of course, black will just sit and wait here. They won't. They won't let white enter. If you see what I mean. You could try something like this. I will stay like that. You could try to enter like this, and I will not run towards the pawns. I will just keep you out, right? So you can see that the king by itself cannot enter. We need help from the pawns. However, I think the first move is important, and it's a contradictory move. So, okay, I'll provide you with a challenge, but please notice that the first move, it's a really contradictory move. But then I think the second and the third move, you can find them. Okay, but very tricky endgame, very entertaining. So let's see who can find this. Piece of advice is that you're really careful about your waiting moves. You will need all of them, believe me. You will need all of your waiting moves in order to win this game. Let me see if I can get this right. Something like that. Okay, you get 1 minute and 20. Hint, the first move, it's not a pawn move. Don't send a pawn move, all right? The first move is not a pawn move. Yeah, okay, king b4, I will go king b6. So I don't know exactly if you're benefited from that. You can repeat moves, of course. That's also possible. Yeah, so let's see who can get closest here. Be careful not to use up your pawn moves, all right? Yeah, very tricky exercise. Did he find it in the game? I think he did, actually. Let me see. Yeah, he did find it in the end game. Yeah, in the end, he did it. Grandmaster Stocek, he did certainly win this game. So, closest heuristic mind so far. But heuristic, there was a smarter way of using your waiting moves, right? There was a smarter way of using them. Okay, we will wait. Awesome, Owen, you're even closer. And so is Pika is the winner so far. Pika got closest so far. Rohan is closest now. I see. Okay, Rohan, you were extremely close. My brain could not compare. I understand. Yeah, it's a tricky one. Let's check with Rohan, who got up to move 6, which I think should be enough. You can find the rest on the way, so to speak. So where is Rohan? It was Rohan, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's see if we can understand this together. And sorry if it's very confusing, but I think it will be interesting for you. So, yeah, why do we start with king d4? Well, we need to create some kind of breakthrough scenario. The trick is that if you use up these moves, you will need them later, okay? That's why we don't use them. We play king d4. Black should not touch their pawns because then they lose their own waiting moves later. So black will make a king move instead here, right? I'll play some king move like king b5. We play g4, but without any preparation. This will be important later. That's why we need to play king d4 first, to push away black's king, right? Because if they take Rohan, what will happen next? Of course, and here we are grateful for our extra pawn, right? The extra pawn is holding up black's passed pawn, and we win by pushing this pawn. Yeah, no pawn race this time. It will take ages for black to create a pawn race. They would need this pawn and that pawn also. So, yeah, don't play. I know it's a tricky endgame. Yeah, don't play h3 simply because we need that move later. Okay, so g4 is played here. Black will have to play g6. What I'm trying to say is also that had you started with g4, I could take this pawn because you don't have the pawn break anymore. So that's why you need to start with king d4, because you're forcing me to make a concession, right? I don't want to move my pawns because I lose waiting moves later in the game. And I cannot move the king this way because I let you enter. So that's why I played king b5. All right, please go ahead, Rohan. Please go ahead. So g4, Grandmaster found this also. So you can see it's not some weird computer line. g6 was played in the game. Only move to hold up this e-pawn. No? The next move is important. Don't waste your waiting moves. You will need all of them. We still have 1, 2, 3. We will badly need each one of them. All right. Black played at this point king b4, which is very clever because they don't get. If I can play something else just for fun, just for everybody to understand. Please go ahead, Rohan. Show us quickly how does this work. If I play in a worse way, you would win this rather easily. Exactly. I'm trying to hold you up, but you have all those pawn moves that you can use. Exactly. I'm not sure which is the best pawn move. Maybe this is smart also. It takes longer time, but yeah, never mind. It's probably the same thing. Now we can finally enter. I'm trying to keep Rohan away, but to no avail. Rohan knows what they are in for here. Coming back. I still have the opposition, but you can see which kind of tragedy is awaiting me, right? All of those who misused your pawn moves at the very beginning, now you understand why we were keeping them, right? And now we can bring in the king. F3 was better, says Lucoco. Maybe you're right. Yeah, it's possible. But this is convincing to me, at least. Yeah, we don't need to continue, right? You will enter with your king and you will take my pawn in the end. So, all right, we will continue. We will continue. Let's come back. We have gained space with our pawn, which means on this occasion that we have used up their waiting moves. But I'll try to play in a slightly more challenging way. So I'll play king b4 here instead. I'll play king b4. All right. I think it's basically the same thing, right? One step, please, so that we keep another waiting move for the future. King d3, I think I'm coming back, right? Or you're just showing who is ruling here, perhaps? You want to show who is the boss. Oh, mouse slip. Yeah, no hard feelings. Yeah, it can happen to anyone. So please come back and we can continue. Yeah, you can just come back and we can continue. Exactly. We can come back and then you can continue. Aha. So that's smarter. Yeah, I have to play king c5 to keep you away. And it's time to use our waiting moves. Aha. If I go this way, as we already know, the pawn races. The races are not favorable for me, right? As you can see, I'm too slow here. Aha. And I think white wins easily here because, yeah, I can't queen. So I have to go to, we have more space, exactly. This is always the same. We always come down to this, Tori, in this class at least. So king b3, and finally Rohan is able to enter, right? Aha. So last chance to go wrong here, of course. Yeah, not really interesting. Yeah, king a4, king d4, king, exactly. So I have to play king c4 instead, right? I have to keep you away. But we already saw this. So please go ahead, Rohan, go for it. Our pawn endgame expert, Rohan, is showing us how to win this game. Aha, exactly. So if I now go king c7, we have to be a little precise here, I think. Don't come back, of course. Yeah, don't come back because then I'm just in time to take the opposition, right? So we need to go one step further, one step higher up. So if I go this way, unfortunately, you enter from the 6th rank, and if I go to the other side, you will enter from the 8th rank, and I cannot keep you away anymore, right? I'm missing this move for diagonal opposition. I have to go for this lost pawn race. Exactly. Yeah, fascinating endgame, and the Grandmaster, he found it. So yeah, it's not some weird variation, it's what actually happened in the game. Okay, guys, you will get your last chance now of showing me that you understand this. Unfortunately, some moves are replaced. Let's say that you keep f3 until the very end, all right? Keep f3 to the very end so that you get the right move order here according to Chessable. Let's see if we can get this right. Yeah, I think that will be enough, right? Okay, you get 1 minute here. My brain is dead. Okay, but yeah, you will have a good sleep, and then tomorrow it will work again. So don't waste up your waiting moves, guys. Don't waste those waiting moves. Then you won't be able to get the opposition in the last place. Aha, it's okay, Al and Rohan. You can probably play like that also. That should be the same thing. Sure. So nice. Yeah, many of you got this right and so on. Yeah, you can probably play like that also, Queen Alapin. You can go king c3 on move 1. But then you can't do the g4 trick, right? Then it won't work, the trick, I think. So I think we badly need to have the... Don't go 2 steps, Tori, no? If you go 2 steps, I can make a draw, I think, now. So, okay, Brian, you got it again. Sheng, Chess Crusher, congratulations. And I think there are some, Happy Pawn, you also got it, congratulations. I think there were some move order issues on the way also. So, okay, Brian, you can show us. You can show us. We need to play this move badly because we need to get g4 in without black being able to reply f takes c4. Once we have done that, we are ready to gain space. This is the key move here. We're gaining space, but explicitly with the idea of finishing off our opponent's waiting moves and keeping waiting moves for our own. Right? Yeah, black played some random move here like king b4. And it's time to go back. Aha, time to go back. Black got the opposition, but we still have two moves left, right? We still have two moves left, waiting moves that we can use. So yeah, exactly. If king here, king there, and we are faster, so black will try to keep white's king at bay. Doesn't king b3 instead of f3 work? Yeah, I think many of these moves, Santos, are how do you say? Replaceable, right? Interchangeable, something like that. Right. I think so, Rohan. Yeah, you can start with f3. That's absolutely optional. Aha. Of course, you could do that also. It would not make a big difference. Okay, please go ahead, Brian. We can finish this off. Aha, that's right. We get up to this point, and I think here you have two move orders. You can choose yourself which one you like the most from these two. Yeah, for me also that's like more evident. Aha. And once we have him like that, we play our favorite move, f3. The last tempo is spent because now we get access either to b6 or b8. Okay, I think we understood this, right? The absolute key move of this example was this one here. Everybody, should I quiz you on this? You get 5 seconds, maybe, just to see if everybody's awake. Yeah, everybody learned a lesson here. Exactly. Please remember that for the future. Try to gain space in your games. Next week, we will do our last class on gaining space, all right? Last class, and then we will do some more middle game stuff and so on. So thanks, everyone. Thanks to all of you who are here today. Thanks to Chessable, to Chess Dojo, to Greg Shahadi at uscschess.com. Thanks. See you. Bye-bye.